All right, so the last 2 days have been really, really amazing and interesting. So yesterday we had the Sony presentation about the new Sony A1, Alpha A1. And then this morning I wake up, I go on my YouTube, and I see Fuji is having an X Summit, and they're talking about their new cameras. So over the past 2 days, we've been bombarded with so much new technology, and I'm kind of excited. I wanted to make a quick video. I'll try to be quick about this because they both are extremely interesting for different ways. And so what I'm doing right now is probably a little different than normally in other locations. I'm actually using my work setup because I'm in between meetings. Shh, don't tell nobody. Let's start with the Sony Alpha announcement. So Sony's releasing the Alpha A1, which essentially is the camera we all knew was coming. It's essentially what will be the answer to the Canon R1, which is currently the Canon 1DX. So this is the top of the line, super duper flagship camera. What you're going to see at the Olympics, what you're going to see the photographer for the president using, what you're going to see at the high end press conferences and sporting events. This is that camera for Sony. This is establishing Sony as a real contender. Now, we all know that Canon is a sleeping dragon. That R1 has not come out yet, and I am almost 100% sure that the R1 will outdo the A1. But we'll wait to see. But looking at the Alpha A1, there's some amazing specs on it. Now, some I really don't care about, like doing 8K 30 frames a second. I would never use 8K. My computer can't handle it. But taking all of the best features from the Sony A7S and then combining them with some similar features from the Sony A7R4 makes it a really good camera. So you're talking 50 megapixels doing, I think they said 30 frames per second with the electronic shutter. That is simply amazing from a sports shooting standpoint. Now you take that, you combine it with you're doing your 4K 120 frames per second, and you have the same 4K quality that you have from, well, actually probably a little bit better than the Sony A7S3, and you combine them together in this flagship camera. So I think it is an amazing camera. It's more than what I would need. It's like I would have to sell all of my cameras, and I really like the ability of shooting two camera angles, but I wouldn't be able to do it in a 4-day one. So although I think it's a great testament to the technology that Sony can pull together, I'm not sure it's something I'm going to get. But something that overshadowed the A1 announcement to me was Fuji's X Summit, and they announced the Fuji GFX 100S. So it's essentially the smaller, more full frame body size version of their 100 megapixel medium format camera. Now, this, on the other hand, is very, very interesting. This is something where, I'm gonna have to walk myself off that cliff. I did a review of the 50 megapixel Fuji medium format, and at this point, if you got a 50 megapixel, I mean, it's too close to the Sony high resolution cameras to make that a viable option. Now, the 100 megapixel in a small form factor, as soon as it's available, I'm definitely going to pick that up from Aperture and do a video on that one, because I do like some of the characteristics that the Sony, not the Sony, but the Fujitsu medium format cameras provide, and putting it in a smaller format and reducing the price from $10,000 to $6,000. Hey, I'm gonna have to donate some blood, and I figure something out. What can I get for maybe I'll lose a couple of toes. Maybe can I get about 10 racks for a toe? I don't know. Either way, that is a more interesting camera, because Fuji. So the Fuji shooting experience is more fun and more engaging than using cameras like Sony and Canon and probably Nikon. I've never touched a Nikon because I care about my stuff and I care about my hands. So why would I ever touch a Nikon? Whole nother story, just playing around. But I think that this 100 megapixel Fuji is from my point of view, the winner in what's the most interesting thing that's come out in the last 2 days. And I'm really interested to get that in hand. Again, the same amazing film simulations and raw camera data that you can pull from a 100 megapixel sensor combined with the Fuji ergonomics. Again, you got to use Capture One or some other editing software, but it's just something about Fuji. And so I'm definitely interested in getting my hands on one of those and testing that out and seeing if that could potentially become the portrait camera. I like Sony for video. I like Sony for hybrid. I like Sony for all the other items. Canon's just still too expensive. It's too expensive for me to jump over. I love Canons too. But this Fuji, well done, Fuji. I mean, 100 megapixel and a full frame form factor, 6,000. They mentioned that you can also do 4K video with it, but I'm not sure the benefit of it. I think that'll be something that needs to be researched. Is there a benefit to using a larger format sensor when doing video? If that extra depth of field and the extra room on the sensor provides a different cinematic feel than your traditional 35 millimeter sensor. That'll be good to explore, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna have people that take on that challenge. But this is just a quick video. This is just a quick video. So we had the Sony Alpha A. This is just a quick video. So we had the Sony Alpha A1, or is it just the Sony A1, which is essentially the new flagship, the big brother to all the cameras. And then we have the Fuji GFX 100S. Obviously, you can tell by my voice that's the most interesting one to me. Going back to the Sony real quick, it makes me even more hopeful for the Sony A7 IV and the features that might be in that one. Realistically, I would love to have raw output from the A7 IV and 4K 60. You give me those two, and you can keep it at 24 megapixels. If you want to go up, that's fine. But around 24 megapixels, ProRes raw output, 4K 60, and I'm good. And I love the card readers that are on the A7 S3. Basically, take the A7 S3 body and all of the menu functions and just bump the 4K 120 down to 4K 60. Bump up the megapixels to 24 to 30. You got me. I'm purchasing. But again, exciting last 2 days. Want to do a quick video. Audio may sound a little different because I'm using my actual podcasting microphone to go through this. Maybe I'm not even gonna say I'm gonna start a podcast because I always say I'm gonna start stuff and I never do it. And I don't know if you guys even notice it, but So just wanted to get out. I was very, very excited to see that this morning, and hopefully we'll have more to come. Boy, it's something about gear. I need to go to rehab because this is gear. Oh, and also, this is my first time doing a recording on the Atomos Ninja with my A7 III. I'm trying that out now, so I'm hoping that saves me a step of not having to do any optimizing or building proxies. I should be able to just take it straight from ProRes. Take it from ProRes right into the editing process, but we'll see. So again, if you like what you have seen, please let me know. Actually, questions for you. What do you think is the bigger announcement this week? Was it the Alpha A1? Is it the Fujitsu GFX 100S? Was it one of the other Fuji cameras that were released? Tell me your thoughts. What do you think will be in the A7 IV, and when will it be released? I'm assuming we should have it before the summer. So again, thank you for watching. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe, like, leave comments, do all the wonderful things you're supposed to do in this wonderful world of YouTube. Catch you later. I really need to figure out how to do the things and how to close it out because I don't know, man. I'm just